el socialismo y su esencia absolutamente democrática, mientras que el capitalismo tiene en su esencia lo antidemocrático, lo excluyente, la imposición del capital y de las élites capitalistas. El socialismo no, el socialismo libera, el socialismo es democracia y la democracia es socialismo.
President Chavez defines his program in generalized terms.
El país es de todo.
This nation belongs to everyone. It is everyone's property, and that property must be distributed equally, in harmony.
Armoniosa.
In Maracaibo, Venezuela's second city, some of the country's many poor people are queuing to buy food at unrealistically low prices. This is an artificial socialist market created by President Chavez. The subsidies to bring prices down come from oil revenue.
The government is also spending millions of dollars on social programs to help the poor, from offering work at socialist factories to providing free health care.
Venezuela's oil-rich economy is thriving thanks to the high price of the barrel, and consumers from the slums to the country clubs can't buy enough. Auto show in Caracas. Vendors just can't keep up with demand, especially for this little number, the Hummer, ported Scotch whiskey. Once a status symbol, in today's Venezuela, people drink it almost like water. Until now, that is.
Para importar whisky.
I'm ashamed to say that Venezuela has one of the world's highest consumptions of whiskey. What kind of revolution is this? A Hummer revolution? A whiskey revolution? No, this is a real revolution.
Esto es una revolución de verdad, compadre.
And to make it real, the socialist leader has imposed restrictions and taxes on imported alcohol.
We've been cursed by the influence of capitalism, by the thirst for unbridled consumerism.
Chavez's morality campaign also calls for doing away with one of the most Venezuelan of vices, drinking beer, and plenty of it, out on the street. On the president's list, recommendations for the new woman, too. Mothers, he says, should not allow their young daughters to get breast enlargements, a degenerate practice, he claims, in a country where breast implants are as common as Barbie dolls, which, by the way, Chavez also wants to blacklist.
But can PDVSA, Venezuela's state-owned oil company, really pay all the welfare bills? Glossy videos and smiling faces can't hide the fact investment and output have fallen.
Oil industry under state control, Mr. Chavez bears responsibility for how it is run. At a first glance, the numbers do not look encouraging. Experts say production has dropped about a third since he came to office, robbing the country of the full financial benefit that could have accrued in 2008 when global oil prices peaked around $140 a barrel. Government has fired thousands of technicians from the state-owned oil company PDVSA and replaced them with workers whose primary qualification is their loyalty to President Chavez.
Enrique Mareta, hammer handyman, earns $620 a month.
All my salary is spent in food. Everything is so expensive. I cannot save money as I used to.
Chavez's announcement of a 30% increase in minimum wage comes as good news to Mareta and other laborers.
Venezuela already has the highest inflation rate in the Americas at 25%. But Hugo Chavez says he will not tolerate any further increase in prices.
Quiero que la Guardia Nacional.
I want the National Guard to go into the streets with the people to fight speculation and to take measures.
And just in case anyone raises prices,
I'm capable of taking the butcher shop away from the owner and giving it to the employees who work there.
Here at a low-income market in the Caracas barrio of Petari, customers are astonished by the rising prices.
We're reaching a limit. Everything is too expensive. Here's the opportunity to buy something cheaper, but everything is very expensive. You have to make miracles to buy vegetables and fruit.
This week's announcement by Venezuela's central bank that annual inflation reached 42%, more than double from last year, continued Venezuela's standing as having the highest inflation rate in the Americas. This, along with frequent shortages of basic products like toilet paper and cooking oil, have made shopping difficult here.
Many goods are not available, are too expensive and not available, so life is too expensive and it's difficult to get goods.
What really made things dramatic, though, was when the oil price plunged about a year and a half ago now. Venezuela depends on the selling of oil for almost all of its government income. On top of that, it is now so reliant on imports of almost everything. They are not taking in enough money to pay for all the imports that they need. And that has now led to rampant inflation. The IMF says at least 700% by the end of this year.
Each day at dusk, the unemployed converge on this sidewalk trash heap in downtown Caracas, picking through rotten fruit and vegetables tossed out by nearby shops. But it's not just the jobless that search through garbage for food. They're joined by many who still consider themselves part of Venezuela's middle class, even though their living standards have long declined, pulverized by triple-digit inflation, food shortages, and a collapsing currency. Nearly half of Venezuelans say they can no longer afford to eat 3 meals a day. While the government blames political opposition of waging an economic war, those caught in the crossfire do what they can to make ends meet.
Venezuela, a tropical paradise steeped in natural riches, sitting atop the biggest oil reserves on the planet, once oozing glamour and excess, known for its beauty queens, black gold, and its authoritarian rulers. But now it's a country in the midst of violent upheaval. When the price of oil crashed, the economy went with it, exposing the failures of Hugo Chavez's socialist government, triggering hundreds of riots and mass instability. And now the people are paying the price. Caracas is now the murder capital of the world. Food lines have to be guarded by soldiers, and they tell the story of the world's worst performing economy with inflation over 800%.
Oye, que esto lo sepa todo el mundo, nos estamos muriendo de hambre, los venezolanos. Esto no es posible, estamos en una dictadura, pero disfrazada. Todos son testigos, hay gente que no podemos hablar. ¿Por qué? Porque nos tienen amordazados. Si tú hablas, mandan a los colectivos a que te agredan, a que te maten.
And socialist governments traditionally do make a financial mess. They always run out of other people's money.